if you have a restaurant or anything, you have to post every single day and you have to use the right hashtags and you have to tag influential people in your market. Plain and simple.
Hi, I'm Josh Owen. As the owner of a video marketing company in New Orleans, I've been on the quest to learn everything I can about marketing. Everyone has a different style, different strategy, and a different experience. Is there a wrong way to do it? A right way to do it? Let's find out together as we make marketing make sense. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Make Marketing Make Sense. I'm your host, Josh, with Comfystone, and today I'm joined by Carla Pesono.
Hey, guys.
Representing yourself, I guess, at this point, you know?
Yeah,
that's what I love. And then we're here to talk about, food influencer success.
Yeah, food influencer success. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. I feel like you know a little thing or two about that, you know? You've been through it a little bit, huh?
Yes.
Nice.
Lots of eating.
Man, well, I mean, tell me about it. Like, what was you started, I mean, what I loved when we talked about it was like you started from like zero to where you are now, like building something from scratch. What happened? How did that work?
So I was a broadcast journalism major and was a TV anchor for 8 years. And so when you're in TV, you're focusing strictly on television, right? So everything is just for TV. And I never really focused on social media at all. Like when I was on TV, I didn't care about it. I'm like, no, I'm just focusing on TV, which that was probably my biggest regret. Because if I started growing it when I got into television in 2013, I think I would be a lot bigger than what I am. But in 2019, when I got out of television, that's when I really started honing in on like, no, I think this is what I need to be doing. Focus on digital because that's going to be bigger. Television is dying. No one's really watching the news anymore. And so in 2019 of the summer, started my own media company. And then I just started doing a lot of consistent posts. And then just last year was when I really started diving into it more and more. And that way, when I entered this year, I was able to be fully on my own and just grow it. And it really just comes down to consistency, and sticking to your brand. Yeah.
No, I mean, I honestly think that's more impressive, even though you have those regrets about before. It's more impressive that you were able to build yourself up to where you are now, just, based off of your own grit and determination and posting and consistency. I mean, that's incredible,
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, what was it? February of 23. What year is it? February 2023. Yeah. I just hit 10,000.
Wow.
Okay. Wow. And that was, so in January, I was at like 9,000. Yeah. Okay. So February. Right. And now I'm at 26,000 and it's December.
Wow.
So I guess that's good.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people that would be really happy to get those numbers. I mean, what do you contribute your success to that?
It's just sticking to your brand and being consistent, posting every single day, and knowing what your audience wants, and doing collaborations.
Yeah,
you have to collab.
Yeah,
and you have to, but you have to stay true to what your content is. You can't go off.
Right. So
you have to remember it's a robot.
Right.
Right? So you can't just be like throwing something up there that doesn't have to do with what your audience wants to hear. Or you have to just stay true to what you were talking about, whatever your niche is. I think niche is really important.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, look, that's something that I definitely wanted to touch on was like a lot of people ask, like, is a niche important? But, what you're saying is, yes, it's super important.
I think it is. I don't know anyone who is killing it on social media and just talking about whatever unless they're already famous.
Right.
The people that are already famous, they could do whatever they want and they got the following.
Right.
And I'm sure one day I'm going to get there where, it's like I could just talk about whatever. But everyone wants to hear about food with me, right? They want to hear my opinion. They want to hear what am I eating next. And then obviously, like, because I'm from Buffalo and I like talking about Buffalo things, like people like to hear that. But the main thing is food.
Right.
And just, so you have to stick to that.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's one context point that we may not have, like, been specific about yet, but your following is all built around food. And I mean, what a better city than New Orleans to do it in, right? And it's like, and you're killing it on that front. I think one thing that I'm always curious about is when you're creating, you have this niche, right? And, niche is always important, But when you're within that niche, you have to create content around it. I mean, food is a broad subject. Like, how do you start developing the type of content that's going to be engaging? Like, how do you start to figure out like what kind of content you want to make that's going to be engaging for people to enjoy?
That's a good question. Being a journalist, I'm always like, you're always finding the story. You're always finding the hook. And so what I do is I find out, okay, what is happening this week that is like timely, right? Because it's all in the news. It's all about what's happening in that moment. What is trending, right? So it's Christmas time. So right now, what am I doing? I'm going to hit up all the best holiday pop-ups in New Orleans, right? Because you know that people are going to want to know. They're going to talk about it. It's going to be shareable content.
Right.
Or maybe a restaurant is dropping a new menu, right? People want to know about that. So you think of like what's news. So that's what I do.
Nice.
And or like new restaurant opening. Go check that out.
Yeah.
Or just general stuff. I mean, like I just went to or go to places that are already very famous and just like sprinkle that in there because you know it's going to be shareable. I just went to Portugal. I was shooting a video at Pat O'Brien's. They just turned 90.
Yeah.
And when I was leaving, I'm like starving.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go to Portugal. I've never been there.
You never went there?
It's a famous
Really?
burger joint for those
it's
who
like
don't
the spot.
know.
Yeah.
I'm like, it doesn't look that good to me, and that's why I've never been.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm going to go. Let me just go check it out.
Yeah.
Did a very authentic. They didn't know who I was. I walked in, ordered my burger, sat outside, put the camera up, and just videoed myself eating it and talking about it. And that video is blowing up right now because I first off said it's not that good, and I'm like authentic about it. But it's also you're talking about a burger and a famous place, and people love to talk about burgers, and they love to like. And Protocol already has a name, so people will talk.
Yeah,
so I think it's just important to do all those things.
And then now that you're in that, I mean, that's one of the things that I'm always curious about is you want to be on the end with restaurants, so you want to make sure you don't always say bad things, but also at the same time, you want people to know that you're real. Like, do you ever get in those moments where you're like, oh shoot, do I say what I really think, or like do you try and like ham it up? Like, what do you do?
No, I'm always authentic, but that's a really funny thing because people say this to me all the time. They're like, why don't you ever say anything negative? Why is everything so good? I'm like, because I'm not going to put it on there and blast a restaurant.
Yeah.
I don't do that. That protocol thing, that was I didn't even blast them either.
Yeah.
I just said, listen, you guys need to up your game. Like put real bacon in the loaded potato. They were putting fake bacon, whatever. I'm always authentic with whatever I say.
Yeah.
And I feel like if something's not that good, I don't want to be the one to like take them down. Like people will figure it out.
Right.
Yeah. It's like I just don't want to talk about it. Let me just feature what's good and what I like.
Right. And that comes with what you're saying too, with the hunting for the right places and figuring that out. I mean, how do you know that like? So you filmed that port of call content, and you knew like let me just put the camera up and like I'm just going to talk about it.
Yeah.
How do you know like that's what you want to do? How do you know how much of the food you feature versus how much of your face?
The style?
Yeah, the style of the actual like part of the content that you're creating. Like how do you know what you're do you ever experiment with it, or like do you feel like you're pretty much like honed in on what you want to do? Like how do you know what content to film?
So when I had a food show called Carla's Kitchen on WGNO, and I also Carla's Kitchen was also on WVLA in Baton Rouge, and I would like feature hidden gems. So I was a host.
Gotcha.
So I've always been a host.
Yeah.
And so when I started doing social content, sometimes I would post, because remember back before video was huge, before Reels, we would post like a food picture.
Yeah.
Well, I would like sprinkle food pictures and I would do stuff with me in the photo. And I was like, at that point, I was trying to figure out, how much do I show of me, but how much do I show of just the food? Because there's a lot of food content creators, you would never know their face.
100%.
But I've realized through my audience, everyone wants to see me and they want to hear me speak. So that's what I do.
Yeah.
I have to be on camera.
Right.
I have to talk. I have to.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
that's
it's like
why. So that's my brand.
Because like people have gotten close with you and your opinions. So now it's like they're almost like watching for you in that point. And it's like, now that you've kind of had that identity, how do you keep the train rolling? Like, how do you know that like are these things that you're doing have they always been lining up for you? Like, how do you keep lasting success on Instagram or TikTok?
Well, you definitely have to keep finding places, like I said, but I do get hit up all the time from places, and there's always events happening or like something's dropping, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go check this out and do a video on it. And then you build like a client base too. Like there's obviously a lot of influencers that are just making money by through Meta, through their social media channels, but or brand sponsorships. But I also have like clients that I actually do content for as well. So that's the way I operate.
Gotcha.
So it's like both.
Yeah. So you're kind of like building up over time this, it's almost like an offshoot of what you're doing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you're growing not only yourself, but the business side of it.
Yeah.
It's like coming with it.
It's a natural I have a natural marketing mind.
Yeah.
And so I always am trying, okay, how can I help another place out?
Right. Because you have
I'm
the
good
currency.
at selling something too.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the biggest compliment I get all the time is like, the second you talk about it, like I have to go try it.
Right.
Like you sold me.
Right. That's awesome.
So that's another reason why businesses want me to talk about the food, right?
That's great. Yeah, no, I mean,
Especially if I love it.
if you love it, that's good,
It's
I mean, all those people are going to see it, they're going to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do businesses say that when you do feature them in your content, like they get a surge in, in foot traffic or business after your content drops?
Absolutely.
Like how do they, what's usually that conversation like? Are they like, oh man, we had like 10,000 people show up, one day?
I actually have not spoken to my recent clients about like, I need to do that.
Yeah.
But they've all said it's been successful.
Oh, nice.
But I don't have numbers right now. Or
Gotcha.
like
Okay. That's the next step. We're going to
But I
follow
will-
up on that.
Yes, we are going to
We had
follow
a data
up on
person
that.
earlier. We'll come back and they'll find the data on it.
No, you're just reminded me I need to do that. But when I was on TV and I had the segment, people would literally, for instance, Bami Boys, I was their first person to like put them on the map.
Oh, really?
And they ran out of food the next day.
Wow.
So the second that segment aired,
Yeah.
and they still run my segment. If you go into the original location on Transcontinental and Airline, you will see my video on loop.
Up there on the big
TV.
screen.
Yeah, and I just was there the other day because I got my family hooked on that place. That's literally top 5 places I think in New Orleans.
100%.
And they always
Shout out to Peter.
Yeah, shout out to Peter. Oh my God, I can't believe when I first tried that place, I was like, this is phenomenal.
Yeah, that was exactly my thought, and I took our whole team out there after that. It was like, it was just time after time. Anything that's connected to a gas station,
it's gonna be
gonna be
good.
good,
Oklahoma Joe's in Kansas City is like one of my favorite barbecue
nice.
places, and that's in a gas station.
Wow. Okay. Well, all right, put that on the map.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
That's so
awesome.
good.
Yeah. So I mean, also, now that you're building, this brand, you've started building offshoot brands from it, right? Like you have the what's the show called?
Hotwood Blue Cheese.
Hotwood Blue Cheese. So you're building these other shows out of it. What makes you decide like, hey, I need to start building offshoots from this one thing?
Well, I am very passionate about where I'm from, which is Buffalo, New York. And everyone knows me as the Buffalo girl down here. And I'm the president of the Buffalo Bills chapter.
Wow.
So like I put on the parties on game day and developed, became president through COVID, whatever happened. And because of my passion. And so the other co-president, he's from Buffalo, and me and him were like, let's do Hotwood Blue Cheese. Let's like make a company because that's how you order your wings, Hotwood Blue Cheese. And so we ended up trademarking it. So it's a federally registered trademark now.
God.
You cannot put that on any clothes or anything.
You went in all in.
Yeah, because people would the second they saw that, like people were trying to steal the design immediately.
Really? Wow.
Oh yeah.
This you
when
knew it was
I wear
good.
that shirt, it doesn't matter where I am, everyone compliments it. Like, oh, that's such a great shirt. It doesn't even matter if you're from Buffalo or not.
Wow.
It's just cool, hot with blue cheese.
Yeah.
So because of that, I was like, all right, now I want to go be the wing girl. I'm going to go around and just try wing spots because I love wings. I'm from Buffalo. I think I have a good knack finding good wings.
Okay,
So that's why I did that.
Nice. So
that's just like fun.
Yeah, I mean, well, that begs the question, like, what's the best wing spot?
Well, so far, you mean in New Orleans?
In New Orleans.
So far, I would have to say Jay's Creole Wings.
Jay's Creole Wings.
Yep,
Wow.
in the 7th Ward.
Wow.
Yeah.
What makes you say that?
It's phenomenal. They're
Wow.
perfect, and their seasoning is they make their own seasoning, and you could buy their seasoning.
Wow.
And it's a perfectly fried, simple, naked wing. That's how it should be, extra crispy, and their sauces are perfect.
Okay. Well, I haven't been there.
You
I
have
go
to
by it all
go.
the time.
Yes.
So, I'm going to make that pit stop now.
You
You
have
heard it
to.
here first,
Yeah.
Dang.
You
That's
have to.
wild. That's wild.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Jay's Creole
Yeah.
wings, but I haven't had. There's a million wing spots. I mean, the cool thing about here in New Orleans is the Black culture's got these amazing pop-ups that are hidden. It's like
Yeah.
only you
Yeah.
know if you know.
Yeah.
And so there's all these ones that I've been seeing that are like they're hitting me up, and
Yeah.
I'm seeing.
Oh,
I'm like,
that's
oh my
awesome.
God, that looks those wings
Wow.
look phenomenal.
Yeah.
But it's like.
Yeah.
They're out in, oh, we're only serving this one day a week. It's like that kind of thing. That's what makes New Orleans so special in the food scene, though.
Wow.
You got to find those pop-ups.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, like when people come here and they're like, okay, where should I go eat? Like there's a million places, obviously, but like I think like all the best food is just like those hole in the walls that
100%.
you got to just know about.
Yeah, and I think it's like a trial by fire too, because like there's every bar needs a pop up, and there's so many bars in
Yes.
the city. So all of these people are out there trying to make food. Some
Yeah.
of them are good, some not so good, but then you slowly work your way through the cracks. The ones that have lasting
Yeah.
power and staying power. Those are the ones that have like the good food.
Absolutely.
So that's awesome. I mean, I 100%
Pop-ups,
agree,
that's the
That's where it's
thing.
at.
That's the new wave.
Yeah, that's
Yep,
the new wave.
from COVID.
Hit them up, get there before they get a brick and mortar. And they're a whole
Yes.
new thing.
Totally.
That's awesome. Well, yeah. And so one thing you said in there that I really liked about it was like about as far as, all right, give me a second here as I think about it, because I was just transitioning. And
Yeah.
now I'm like, whatever. You were saying something about the pop-up and how, they're hitting you up. That's what it was. So
Yeah.
one of the things that I wanted to talk about was how these pop-ups you mentioned are hitting you up. And what's interesting, and a lot of people I think don't really take a lot of stock in their social media. But as you've seen, right, like there is a lot of value in having a large following, because if you have a large following, you have eyeballs, and that matters in the marketing game. I mean,
Yeah.
do you feel like even the numbers that you've had, like with your 24,000 followers that you've just, you've garnered now in, huge success, like a lot of people are starting to reach out to you and see value in those followers that you've gained?
Yeah. You're saying like, say the question one more time. I'm sorry. Like
So
the,
20.
like, make
so
it-
so
well,
you
I'm at 26.
26,000
Okay.
followers, 27,000. All right, maybe it'll be
it changes every
28,000.
day.
All right,
Whatever.
So, well, whatever
But,
it
like-
is. So you get a lot of you have this following. And obviously, people are like starting to reach out to you. Like, is that like? Do you notice that more and more as things continue to grow?
Oh yes. You get hit up every day.
Wow.
Like I can't like keep up with all the places that want to come by, and it's like you get to it. I have a full list.
Wow.
Like in my phone, I have like in a note. You could like scroll. Like
Wow.
it's so many
That's wild.
places that I'm like, all right, I'll get to it eventually. But
Right.
but back to like marketing for
Yes.
these places. If you have a restaurant or anything, you have to post every single day, and you have to use the right hashtags, and you have to tag influential people in your market. Plain and simple. If you're not doing that, you're just you could grow. Southern's okay. Let's talk about Southern's food truck. Okay,
Let's do it.
They started. They had the fried chicken
Yeah.
sandwich.
Yeah.
Obviously, like it was at the time with like Popeyes, so it was like
Yeah.
really smart, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
But they are so consistent with how they were like growing their business,
Right.
that's why they're at where they're at.
Right.
Like you have to keep posting and just getting the word out and getting
Yeah.
people to talk about it,
Yeah.
and you could blow up so fast.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the things that you mentioned, the consistency is the most important
That's
part.
it.
And so many people fail on that because you can kind of slowly build what you want out of it.
Yeah.
Maybe your content isn't great at first, but that's where you can kind of
Yeah.
learn and adapt, and eventually you get the kind of content you want and what people want to see. And I mean, like you mentioned too, collaborating is super important as well.
Yeah.
Like you bringing people like yourself on board
Yeah.
or other people to get more eyeballs on it. That's the greatest way to continue that.
Exactly, and it's like Sean Cannell. Do you know the YouTuber Sean Cannell?
I don't know.
Think Media. The number one things he says, and he's built himself to be a millionaire from YouTube. That's literally what he does for a living. He sells everything, like production, like what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
He does podcasts, all that. He says the number one thing is just hit record.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter you have to just put it out there, and then you'll start seeing. I've had things that flopped right in the beginning, but now I know my audience.
Yeah.
I know what they want.
Yeah.
I know what's going to hit.
Yeah.
Like, I know if I post a video, it's going to perform well. I mean, unless the algorithm messes it up. You know, sometimes you could have those, you know,
the
you
weird
never
moments.
know. Or like some crazy thing happens in the news that all of a sudden that's taking over social that day. Stuff like that happens. But once you know your brand and know what people want, you just have to.
Yeah, nailed it. Yeah. I mean, 100% what you're saying is like even all that stuff that you posted in the beginning, like there's so much new stuff. Like I couldn't possibly scroll down to even find any of it, you know? So it's like, I mean, 100%. I think that's a great place to leave it as far as like, where we end. I mean, maybe the last thing I'll ask is, is there any advice you would give to like new, I mean, we kind of already have said it, but if you wrap it up in a bow, what advice would you give to new restaurants, starting in their own social media accounts? Like, what would you say is the best place to start?
Just have someone that is controlling the social media and being consistent with it. I don't care if it's you, if you're the owner, and like, just do it. If not, invest in someone. There's so many kids out there that would just do it for like a couple $100. Just have someone doing it, consistently post, use the right hashtags. If you don't know what they are, find someone that knows, ask the questions, and just get your name out there, and obviously tag influential people and like have them come by. There's a lot of influencers, like including myself, that like want to help and will do it for free. Like for just trade, like, oh, I just want you to come by and check out my food. Like, that's what you should be doing. Just get the word out,
Nailed it.
It's easy.
Yeah.
It's
so
easy.
It's so easy. A kid can do it.
No, it's easy nowadays to blow yourself up.
Yeah.
Because of social media.
Yeah.
Think about back then. Like, how did they do it? Yeah. If you open up a restaurant,
hey, come on down.
Seriously, you put maybe flyers on like houses. Like it's crazy the power of social media now, and now with TikTok's algorithm. Yeah. It's crazy. So
just make it happen. I love it. That's great. Well, you heard it here first, folks. So we got it. We got it in. Well, awesome. So so this is the end of this segment, and then we got a little extra something. Ooh. So a little extra something. So at you being in a news background, I thought it would be cool if we did like a challenge where you and I did like a news read for our podcast. And so we'll see who does the best news take.
Oh my God.
So I put two down here, but we can read. I don't know, like, let me see if I can.
We're just reading it?
Yeah, we're going to read it. Okay. Is that okay? Isn't that what you do in the news?
Yeah, well, yeah. Unless when I was a weather anchor, it was all ad lib.
Oh, really? All right, go. No, I'm just kidding. All right, well, yeah, so I figured we'd just do this one as like an intro. I have an intro and I have like an advertisement, so I figured we'd do the intro. How does that sound?
Okay.
You ready? You down for that? Yeah,
what are we doing?
All right. Let me see if I can get this to go back sideways. Hold on. All right. Okay. So that's what you're going to read. You may hold it for you. What's going to be easiest? So you'll do like a news read for it.
Okay.
And you'll do it to this camera.
Demystifying.
Yeah. Demystifying. It's a big word. We like the big words here at Comfystone. This is also this prompt is written to you by ChatGPT.
Okay. Okay, so just read the first paragraph?
Yeah.
Okay.
To that camera. And I'll do it and we'll see who does the best news read.
Oh my gosh. Okay. See, we should be having a teleprompter.
Yeah, you want me to teleprompter? Yeah, you want me to hold it? I'll hold it for you.
No.
You sure? You got it?
I guess I could just do this.
Yeah, you got it.
I mean, I have to look down, though.
Yeah,
I'm not memorizing
this.
Okay. Welcome to Make Marketing Make Sense, the go-to podcast for demystifying marketing. Join us as we delve.
I love that.
Join us as we delve into conversations with entrepreneurs and experts, simplifying this dynamic field. Tune in, learn, and let's make marketing accessible and understandable for all. Sounds like a commercial.
That's basically what it was.
That was not good. Delve.
All right.
I don't like that word.
Do I do like the old timey
No.
Like welcome to Make Marketing Make Sense.
See, that was the thing. People are like, "Oh yeah, do your anchor voice?" I don't have one.
I'll tell you, it's just me. All right, let's see.
You're
All right,
gonna get raspy buffalo.
All right, let's see. All right. Welcome to Make Marketing Make Sense, the go-to podcast for demystifying marketing. Join us as we delve into conversations with entrepreneurs and experts, simplifying the dynamic field. Tune in, learn, and let's make marketing accessible and understandable for all. We did it.
I love it. That was great.
Yeah,
Yours
it's
was
hard
way
to do
better.
that. Oh no, I don't know. I think we tied. You know, we'll see what people say.
I don't know about that. I don't have a news. I never was a newsy type person.
Well,
but I will say,
we got the news here today.
When I do my content, I do find myself being a little bit too like almost professional. When you know, a lot of people are more raw because they just don't have, because I have that TV background. I try to be like tight. I have a level of professionalism in my content.
Interesting. Yeah.
And the way I speak, or the way like I start.
Do you feel like that like hinders it at all, or like
I don't know?
It's like
I
feel like it elevates it to a degree. It's its own niche. You know?
Correct.
You're like it's your niche within the niche. You know?
No, you're right.
So I think that's cool. Well, anyway.
Whatever.
Well, we're gonna wrap it up. Tell everybody, Carla, where they can find you on social media.
Okay, don't have like a little foodie handle. It's just me, Carla Pesono. I'm the only one in the world. Easy to find.
Boom. The only one in the world. We got it right here.
Pesono. Yeah.
That's right. Say it again.
Carla Pesono.
Love it. Carla Pesono.
And then Hotwood Blue Cheese. I have some merch. Hotwoodbluecheese.com. Follow me on YouTube.
Get it while it's hot.
Yeah. With blue cheese. I love blue cheese.
She loves blue cheese.
So good.
All right. Well, on that note, this has been Make Marketing Make Sense.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Josh.
Thanks for being here. On that note, this has been Make Marketing Make Sense. Thank you, Carla. We'll see you all next time.
Thanks, Josh.
This has been Make Marketing Make Sense, brought to you by Comfystone. If you need video content for social media, your website, or email marketing, hit up Comfystone at comfystone.com and follow Comfystone on Instagram and TikTok. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.